that I'm not very good at this sort of thing. So I request that you don't judge me on my performance as best man today solely on the basis of this speech. For one, I'd like you all to consider the expert way I produced the rings at church this afternoon. Firstly, I'd like to thank Google.com for providing me with my speech today. Also, please feel free to use petty laughs for the next 5 minutes, as it will make my job a lot easier. On behalf of the bridesmaids, I'd like to thank David for his kind words, and also David. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Gavin, David's younger brother. It feels great to be standing here today because after all these years, David has finally admitted that I'm the best man. What can you say about a man who came from humble beginnings and is now quickly rising to the very top of his profession, based solely on intelligence, grit, and the willpower to push on where others might fail? A man who is beginning to distinguish himself amongst his peers and where none can say a bad word against him. Well, that's enough about me. In all honesty, I find it hard to make a fool out of my brother on his wedding day. The same blood is thicker than water. David is thicker than both. It hasn't always been easy growing up the footsteps of an older, competitive and successful brother. The one who was stronger, could run faster, watch TV later, all that sort of thing. But I've learnt a great deal from it, and not just from observing David's successes. And a key advantage of this in our teenage years was that by observing David, I was able to avoid some dodgy haircuts. In secondary school, David kept himself locked in his bedroom for hours. No one was allowed to enter. No one was allowed to enter the room. Until one day, I struck up the courage to waltz in. I noticed him doing the craziest thing. Homework. All the years of David being the cooler, older brother immediately stopped. The look in his eyes as I walked into the room was terrifying. With his pencil in one hand and his mathematics textbook in the other, he shouted, "Get out of my room, wee man, I'm trying to study here." I stood still due to the amazement of this discovery, unaware that I was in danger of my life. Before I could even blink, David's freshly sharpened pencil was darting through the air, en route to my forehead, before it took an unexpected turn and pierced a hole in my earlobe. Great job. I was officially the only wee boy in Scotland to have his ear pierced at home without the use of a needle and a pad. This probably explains why he buys me an earring for my birthday every single day. Anyway, unlike a typical wee Wayne, I didn't run to mummy and daddy, I ran to David and stuck it up in him. This explains why, still to this day, David gets so many nosebleeds. The moral of the story is, do not mess with a 5-year-old. To further the point of David being a geek, he had perfect attendance. When I say perfect, I mean having an asthma attack, not getting back to the hospital till 3 in the morning, sitting in the at 9:15 the next morning. That's what they call perfect. Andrea, I bet you wish you'd known this story before today. You may have reassured you this morning that he was going to show up. And seeing that he did show up, Andrea, it's a pleasure to welcome you in our family, and it's wonderful to call you my sister-in-law. I'm sure that everyone in the room will agree that you look beautiful today, and I think it's safe to say you've stolen my title as the best looking in the room. Today you have made my brother the happiest man in the world, and I must thank you for that. David and Andrea met in the year 2000, so that's 8 years it's taken David to save up for the ring. When I asked them both where they met, I can't lie, they said they couldn't remember. That ought to be a good story for the wins. But who could forget the proposal? The most romantic location imaginable. The exotic sights and sounds at Glasgow Airport. This goes to show that David will do anything to fly first class for free. But honestly though, he just couldn't wait any longer to make Andrea and fiancé. It works out quite well, as every time they go on holiday, they'll remember that special moment. Everyone will agree that David and Andrea are very well suited. Andrea is ambitious, determined, highly motivated, and loves a challenge. David is that challenge. Bear with me, I need to read out some cards. Just get told this morning, man. Best wishes for a lifetime of happiness, lots of love, Uncle Ed and Aunt Sheila. These are cards sent to people who are not present, so that's why I'm playing. All the best for the future. Sorry we can't be with you. Paki, from Paki and Rose. May your love and your life together begin with once upon a time and end with happily ever after. And I can't read this right. I think it's Bill and Pat. Wishing you every happiness on your wedding day, Junior. P.S. Sorry I can't do it. What? This is the week talking about. I had to. Being that this is the first wedding I've ever been at, the fact that it's my big brows really does put extra on here. If I were to pick 3 words to describe David most, it would have to be loyal, hard-working and talented. Leaving school with so many choices, he has always made the right ones, and today is no different. You've been an amazing brother to me, a great son to mum and dad, and I'm positive you'll make a terrific husband and in the future a wonderful dad. My speech was the best because I only get you to toast once at the end. Before David gets all sentimental, I'd like you all to stand, raise your glass and toast the bride and groom as we wish them a long and happy life together. Andrea and David.
Can I say one thing before you go? Please sit down.